Okay, so now I'll go back to the point there. So what I can do there, I can just project this point horizontally to this line, line T2, right? So that means I'll have a point there. Okay, let me just take this point to line T2. Where is T2? T2 is right there. I have a line there, so I can just take that point, project that point to that line. That means I have a point there. So now what can I do is I can just take my compass, put it at the top point, at point T, to that point that I've drawn now there, and then I will transfer this to the other side, to line T3. So that means I have a point right there. Okay, so I have a point, so this point is right there. So if you check, I projected this point to this line. This is line T2, right? And then I took this point down to line T2 from the top view. That means I got a point there. And then I took my compass, put my compass at point T to that point, and then I project that to the side. Okay, so now I can just connect those points. That means this is my cut surface, right? So this is my cut surface for the pyramid. So I'll just join the points. And then I can now hatch this surface. Okay, so this is my cut surface for the pyramid, and now remember I have to draw the remaining part of the pyramid. Remember, we've cut the two solids there, and then we removed only this top portion, which is this one there. Okay, so remember, I have points there. That means this is removed. I have nothing there, and then what's left is this line 3. Where is 3? So 3 must go to that point, so that point is right there, just like that. Okay, we still have line T2, but this section only from that point. Where is this point? That point is right there. Where is 2? 2 is right there. And then I can just draw a line from that point to that line there, and then this will be hidden, right? Okay, and then we have what? Okay, so now I can just draw the base, because remember point 1 is removed, so I'm not adding that point. So I'll start there up to there, and then here I'll add some hidden detail, and then obviously 1 2 3, it's the base, right? So I can just draw this section up to there, and then here it's hidden. Okay, and then I connect this 2 points like that. So this is the complete sectional top view of those two solids. And then now let me just go back to my instructions. I'm done with the front view. I'm done with the sectional top view. So now let me just try and draw the sectional left view. Okay, so now because I have the top view, front view there, where am I going to draw the left view? Remember, solids are always in first angle, right? Okay, so obviously from the front I'll have this view this side and a view this side, but now because this is first angle, that means the left view will be on my right side. And then if they asked us to draw the right view will be on our left hand side. So now I'll just draw the sectional left view over there. So let me just draw a vertical line there. Okay, and then I can measure just 10, the space between the views, just make it 10 there. And then from here I must draw a 45-degree line. So I'll just take my 45-degree set square and draw a line down like that. Okay, let me just extend this XY line, and remember I'll have to label that line XY, right? Okay, so I'll label that after drawing the sectional left view. So what I can do here, I can just project all the points on this side. I'll start with the prism. I'll just project the points to the right side, even the base points, like that, like that, like that. Okay, and then now because I have this top surface there, now I'm looking from the left side, right? For me to see the cut surface, I'll still remove this portion. Okay, so I'll just start with the normal surface there, A up to F. So I'll start with point A. How am I going to get the point A here? So I'll use the top view. Where is point A? Point A is right there. So I'll have to project that point to this 45-degree line. Then from there I take it up to that line. So that means I have point A there. Okay, and then B, do the same thing. Where is point B from the top view? Point B is right there. And then I'll just project this point up to that line for B. So where they connect, this is our point B, right? Okay, let me just, okay, point C, where is C from the top view? Point C is right there, so it's the same line. So just extend that line, so point C is right there. And then from C we have D, so point D is right there, so same line with A. I'll just extend that line, so point D is up there. Okay, E is just down there, so take this to the 45-degree line, and then from there I have to take it up. And then where is E? E is right there, that means I have a point there. Okay, F, so F is right there, same line with E. So where is F from my front view? F is right there, that means I have a point there, F. So now I have all the points from this top surface, so A, B, C, D up to E. So I can just connect those points so that you can see the shape. So looking from the left side, I'll see the top surface like that. So looking from the left side, looking at this top surface, I'll see it like that. Okay, so from there, what I can do, I'll have to get these points, right? The base, so A is there, So that means I have a point there. This is my A, and then B is right there. So is B from the front view? B is right there, so I have a point there, B. C is right there, same line as B, but C from the front is there, so this is C. Okay, after C we have D, so that means I'll use this line. D from the front is there, so it's a point, so this is point D. And then from D we have E. I'll use this line. Where is E? E is right there, so I have a point, it's E. And then we have F. F, same line as E. Where is F? F is right there, so I can just connect those points like that, like that. Okay, so now I'll focus on the cutting plane. Remember, I'm trying to draw the sectional left view, right? So sectional, where's the cutting plane? Cutting plane is there. Okay, so from this point here, the cutting plane, from this surface, the cutting plane cutters the prism right there, so that means I have a point there and a point there. So it's a point there, it's a point there. Okay, then from there I move to this line. The cutting plane cutters this line right there, so I'll have to project that point. So this is line BB, right? And A and FF. So BB is right there, so I have a point there, and line A, not AFF, AFF is right there, so it's a point. So the cutting plane cutters that line there and this line over there. Okay, and then from there we have this line AA. Here it's only one line, it's AA, so I'll have to project that point to line AA on my left view. So AA is right there, this is AA, so it's a point. So now I can just connect the points for the cut surface, but before that, okay, yeah, I can just connect those points like that, like that. This is the cut surface, like that, like that. And then now I can just hatch this surface like that. Like that. Okay, so this is the cut surface for the prism, right? Okay, let me just move to the pyramid, the cut surface for the pyramid. Okay, so I'll just draw the pyramid in light construction. I'll start with this point, the highest point, which is T. Where is T from the top? T is right there, so T is on this line. So from this view, T will be right there. Okay, so this is point T. Okay, now I'll have to get these points. Point 1 is this line, and then I have to take this up to 1. 1 is right there, so this is point 1, and point 2 is the same line. So where's 2? So that means here I have point 1 and point 2 at the same point, right? Okay, then I have point 3, point 3 is right there, so take it up to there. So this is point 3. So now I can just connect these points like that, because this is a pyramid. So I have two lines on the same line there, line T1 and line T2. And then the side I only have one line, which is T3, right? So this is the pyramid looking from the left side, okay? So now I'll have to project this cut points or lines. So I'll start with line T2, right? T2 is right there. I'll use this line. So T2 is right there. Okay, so it's a point, the first point for the cut surface for the pyramid, right there. I move to this line, which is T3. Where is T3? T3 is right there. Now I'll have to project this point to that line T3. T3 is right there. So it's a point. It's our second point. Okay, and then it goes back to the base to line 1, 3 and 1, 2. So obviously that means from there we have a line that goes straight down. So okay, T3 is there. Okay, then T1 is the base there. Okay, so now from the top view, if you check, I have 2 points for this one. So I'll just take this up. So it's this point there, project that point to the side. So this is the point between 1, 3, right? So 1, 3, we have a point there, right there. And then we have a point as well that between line 1, 2, take that to there. Okay, then that means this is the complete cut surface. It's something like that. It's for the pyramid. And here we have a horizontal line. Okay, so now I can just hatch those surface. So I'm hatching the surface in the opposite direction because these are two different solids. It's not the same solid. So as you can see, I hatched the surface in this direction. So this one I have to hatch it in the opposite direction. Okay, so now let me just complete my pyramid. So obviously I'll have a line there, straight line up to there at the point, because point T is removed now, so I can't just draw a line going up to point T, right? Because we have removed this section. So T is out and 1 is out. Okay, so the pyramid is complete like this. Okay, and then I have to complete the prism now, right? Okay, so looking from this side, I'll see this edge, right? So this edge is edge AA, but that edge is from the small letter A to that point, small letter A to that point. So because we have a pyramid in front, that means this will be hidden up to there, and then from there I'll have a solid line there. I'll have a solid line there. Okay, and then looking from this side, I'll see like this edge, which is BB and FF. But that BB line will up to there, so it's a line from this point over there down to there, and even the F down to there. And then obviously I'll see the V shape at the bottom. So the V shape is from A going up to B, A to B, but here we have a hidden detail, and then here it's a solid line, then A to F as well, it's hidden there, it's hidden, and then a solid line after the pyramid. Okay, and the bottom base, because I'm looking from this side, I will not see the base, right? The base will be hidden, the bottom base, so I can just draw hidden detail lines there to D, and then from D to E, just like that. So this is the complete, no, it's not complete. Looking from this direction, point D is still there because we only removed this portion, right? So I'll have to add that point up there, like that. Okay, so yeah, so this is the complete sectional left view. So let me just label this views. This will be my front view, sectional left view there. So this is my front view. Sectional left view, and this one is our sectional top view. Sectional top view, just like that. Okay, so now I'm done with the sectional top, not top, sectional left view. So now I'll have to draw the last drawing or view, which is the true shape of the cut surfaces, the two cut surfaces, right? Okay, so when it comes to the true shape, what we have to do is we have to focus on the cutting plane, and then on the cutting plane we'll just look at the points, those points, right? So from those points we have to draw perpendicular lines. Those lines must be perpendicular to this cutting plane, which is this line here, line AA. So how are you going to do that? Okay, if you do not want to draw like perpendicular lines, what you can do is you can just draw a vertical line. That vertical line, sorry, I just want to close my highlighter. Okay, that perpendicular line can start over there, not perpendicular, the vertical line. So it's just a construction line. So it's this construction line. Please do not use highlighters. So I'm using the highlighters just to explain, right? Okay, it's not visible, it's fine. So from here you can just take your compass, put your compass at that point, you see the vertical line. I've drawn the vertical line to the first point of the cutting plane, right? So I'll have to put my compass at that point, open my compass to that next point there, and project that to this vertical line, then open to that next point, which is this one, project that to this vertical line, and then the next point from the prism, take that to that line, and also the point. So I'm projecting all the points to this vertical line, and also that last point over there. Okay, so now it's like I moved this cutting plane to this vertical position, and then from there I just project those points horizontally. So I have a point there, point there, point there, and a point over there. Okay, so I start with that point. Let me just start at the bottom, construction line, the next point, horizontal line, next point, like that, like that, like that, and the last point over there. Okay, perfect. So now I'll have to add, okay, before that, let me just go back and label this XY line before I start with the true shape. So this is my XY line, okay, and then I added an XY line as well there. So this will be an X1, Y1. Okay, so I have two XY lines. Okay, now I'll add the third one. So I can just add it anywhere. So this one will be vertical. So because now this, oh no, that X, it's just X. This one is for that point, right? It's not X1, it's just X. Okay, and then from here I will have X2, Y2, because I added a new XY line, right? Okay, perfect. So now it's up to you. You can just take the points from the top view or the left view. It's up to you. So now I'm just taking the points. Which points? The points for the cut surfaces, right? So I have these two surfaces, right? Okay, so I'll start with this one right here, this point. This point is C and E, right? Where's the XY line? I have XY line, so I'll just take the points from my left sectional left view, right? I'll just take all the points from the sectional left view. So I'll start with the top points, which is C. I'll start with C, put my compass at the on the XY line, which is X1, Y1, to point C, and then on that line, so I use the same line, I'll put my compass at the X2, Y2 line. I mark there a point, okay, and then remember we still have a point there. My focus is on the cut surface, so it's E. Remember the compass must be on the XY line. And then I put my compass on the XY line, mark a point there. So that means I have E right there, and I have C right there. So what I can do is I can just label the points. What can I say? But okay, it's fine. It's fine. I'll just mark them. And then now I move to this point right there. So here I have 2 points. It's this point and that point. So I'll start with that last point, put my compass there. Okay, so now I use this line, put my compass on that XY line. That means I have a point. and then even this point there, shoot my compass there, it's a point. Okay, so this is the last point for the prism, the cut surface for the prism. So it's this one there. So now I'll use this line, the next one. So I have a point there. So now I can just connect this points. So this is the true shape for the cut surface for the prism. So this is the true shape for the prism. Okay. Okay. And then obviously I'll have to hatch the surface, but now let me just proceed and get the points for the cut surface of the pyramid. So I'll start with that point, put my compass on the XY line to that point there, over there, and then now I will use this line, which is this one. So I put my compass on the XY line, and then the next point is this one. Okay, use this line now. I'll use that line, mark a point there. Okay, the next one. So now I have 2 points there. I'm left with 2. I'll take this distance. So this is the base. So I'll use that line, mark there. And then the second point there, put my compass on the XY line, remember? It's just like that. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4 points. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then now I can just join the points, draw the shape in using outlines, just like that, just like that. So these are the true shapes of the cut surfaces. So now I'll just hatch the surfaces like that, like that. Like that, like that, like that, like that. Okay, and then the cut surface for the pyramid. Just like that. And then now I have to label this view. This is what true shape. It's our true shape. True shape. So now I'm done. This is the complete answer for this question. So I'm done with the true shape of the cut surfaces. So I have how many views? 4. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4.